Hey YouTube, it's Uthan back again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the books I've read in April. Okay, so the first book that I've read in April is You Are a Badass by Jane Sincero. Sorry if I mispronounced that. And this book basically teaches you that you are your own badass and you should embrace yourself for who you are and not be afraid of people putting you down and stuff like that, and be confident. And with me, there's actually one quote in here. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. I'm going to repeat that again. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. And this was by a Chinese philosopher. So I do highly recommend it if you don't know what you want to do in your life, or if you're not as confident in yourself as I am, then I recommend that you read this book, because this will teach you to embrace yourself and not be afraid of who you are and just be out there being you. So the second book I read this month is The Maze Runner by James Dashwood. And this book is about a boy named Thomas who came up in an elevator and he only remembers his name, and he learns that he's stuck in a maze with all these other people and they have to figure out how to get out. And there's the walls only open up at a certain time, so I believe it opens up from sunrise and then it closes at sunset. And the boys go out and they have to go see how to get out of the maze and stuff like that. But there are things out there that will end up killing them. And that's all I'm going to say, because then I'm going to end up spoiling the rest. But this book, I don't recommend it, because at the beginning it's very slow and I didn't like it. I felt like stop reading it. And it just, like, I can't even explain it. The first part is just, the first 8 chapters is boring, and then after the 8th chapter everything just starts to hit and it starts to come in. And that's why I already got the second book, and I do plan on reading the second book, but I don't think I'm going to be reading the whole series. So I don't recommend, if you don't like anything that's slow at the beginning, I don't recommend you reading this book. Okay, now on to the next book. The book I read this month in April is 10 Blind Dates, and this book I highly recommend. It is about a girl named, forgot her name, Sophie, and recently her boyfriend broke up with her and she told her grandma, and her grandma decided, well, maybe you should go on 10 blind dates, you know, just for fun. And she ends up going on these dates, and at first she didn't like it and stuff like that, but then she ended up realizing that she had feelings for another guy. And now these feelings start coming up, but then the boyfriend wants to come back and he wants to get a second chance, but she doesn't want a second chance. In this book, it made me cry like once or twice, because it made me realize that family would always be there for you. And it made me like think about my own family, how with my family we're all so close and we always tell each other everything, even if we're afraid to tell them. Fourth book I read this month, and I recently just finished a day ago, is Educated by Tara Westover. And this book truly made me cry. Like, I have never cried so much during a book, and I truly mean that. Like, in the first 2 to 3 chapters, I was crying so bad. And it is about a girl named Tara, and she ends up she ends up talking about her family and stuff like that, how she didn't have a birth certificate until a certain age. Her father doesn't believe in government stuff. She'd never seen a doctor or a nurse in her life. She never stepped foot in a classroom, all that type of stuff. And during her story, it hit me that her life growing up, sorry, I was just about to tear up. Her life growing up was hard. Like, she grew up with a lot of brothers, and I believe only one sister. And I know the life growing up with just brothers, sometimes it can be hard. But then she realized that she's gonna go to college, and she went off to college, and she lived her best life. That's all I can say. But if you do want to cry or like read about something that's empowering and inspirational and heartwarming, then I do recommend that you read Educated. And this is, I gave this a 5-star because why wouldn't I give it a 5-star? This is the first time I've ever cried fully to a book. So if you haven't yet, please go pick it up, and it is a memoir. So the last book I read this month was Becoming by Michelle Obama. And this book was a true inspirational. Like, she ends up talking about her life as a child, her life when she met Barack Obama, and then her life as First Lady. And like, I went through this book very fast because, you know, those times when you're really into a book and you don't want to put it down? That was me with this book. This book taught me that not everyone's life is perfect, and like, she grew up living in the same room as her brother, and it just, I don't even know how to put it, but her making this book was the best decision I think she's ever made. And please just go read the book. Like, I'm speechless. And not just that, I just can't speak today. I don't know what it is, like. And I like to say like a lot, if you guys haven't noticed. But this book is just beautiful and heartwarming. Just takes my breath away, as you guys can tell. This memory is not a memory. It's something I imagined, then came to remember as if it had happened. Now, when I read that, I was like, whoa, that's deep. Like, I didn't even think of it like that. And now it just got my mind like thinking about things. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So that's all the books I've read this month in April, and it's like I've read a complete of 5 books, which I've read a little bit more before. The most I've read is 7 books, so I was close. It's a close second. But I just wanted to let you guys know the current book I'm reading right now, and it is Diversion by Victoria Roth. And I heard this, a lot of people gave me this recommendation, and I truly can't wait to read it. And I'm only like 5 pages in because I started today, but yeah, can't wait to read it. Just wanted to let you guys know about that. Okay guys, so that's the end of my video, and if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe, and have a good day, guys.